season. Let's lead it off with a very fun one. Let's go into the Veterans Bowl. Let's talk South Alabama, Western Michigan. I had to use the shitty old Western Michigan logo. I'm sorry, nobody prefers this one. But South Alabama's a 7-point favorite in this one. Let's talk about who's in and who's out of all of these games. That's where we're going to start. Jake, take us through who's in first and then who's out on both sides of the ball for these teams.
I think we need to first preface by saying, we upload these videos, I'm assuming.
It's Wednesday, December 11th.
Thursday night, guys leave, guys opt out every single day. So we're doing the best we can in giving you guys this. But before we go into bowl season, I wanted to give you guys a stat because betting bowl games is very, very hard. Underdogs were 21-18 against the spread last year in bowl games. So keep that in mind. If you lean one way.
Keep that in mind. Barely above 500. Stat of the day.
But the underdogs did. They won like the first 7 bowl games. So
I'll outright.
Keep you there.
Big spreads, by the way.
Keep that in mind. We have a lot to get into. All right, who's in, who's out? Let's start with who's out. I think the biggest one in the game, it starts with South Alabama's running back, Fluff Bothwell. Kid had a huge freshman year. He's got a ton of Power 4 offers already in the transfer portal. He'll be out. I expect Kentrell Bullock to get the team carries as he actually leads the team in carries. So he's probably going to be the go-to guy. Jordan Scruggs, starting cornerback for South Alabama. Ricky Hyatt. This is a guy who played every game for South Al at safety. And 2 starting defensive linemen for Western Michigan, Corey Walker and Ontario Thompson. For who's in, there are still some guys. Like Jaden Boyson was first team all-conference safety for South Al. And Jamal Pritchett, first team all-conference wide receiver for South Alabama. And I expect Gio Lopez to also play for South Alabama as well, the quarterback. He's a stud. And then there's a couple of first team offensive linemen, Mac for Western Michigan, and their leading rushers, who they rely on a ton at running back for Western, are still going to play. So your main guys in this bowl game, besides Bothwell, I feel like are going to play at this point. So that's something that's to be excited about for Saturday.
Unless it's one of those jump off the page, like standout G5 season transfers, like Bothwell will be, I feel like we're going to get a lot of the majority, at least star power worth watching, playing in these games for what these teams were able to do. I mean, we're talking about 6-6 teams here, or 7-5 teams. So yeah, you got to take a plus minus. But when I look at this game, I just look at whether or not, South Alabama has some talent out. You obviously mentioned that, but Gio Lopez has still been a pretty good quarterback for them, especially on the back half of their season, won 4 of their last 6 games. It's a decent offense. A lot of it went through the rush, but Lopez has that ability. He's the 3rd leading rusher on the squad, 463 yards on the season. So look for him to do more with his legs, but I really just think this game's going to be high scoring. You look at Western Michigan's defense. They haven't been great this year. That's really where they've fallen off. They give up 31.5 points a game. So I think South Alabama will still get theirs on the offensive side of the ball, do enough to win the Veterans Bowl. To cover, I don't know, because they have that running game out. You might have to go to the pass a little bit, forcing a couple of turnovers, because both these 2 teams are pretty good in the turnover game. But we'll just see how it goes. For some reason, I lean South Alabama because of Lopez and what he's done this year, and because we've seen the really bad side of Western Michigan on the defensive side of the ball at times this season. What do you think, JP?
Yeah, I wasn't high on this Western team coming into the year. We highlighted Voisin actually preseason just in what his accomplishments had been before this year. Then he has another first team all conference to that. Pritchett, I think, is just going to light the world on fire. Jacob just told us a stat about, early games and how well the Dogs have done. I think Al wins big here. South Alabama died double digits. Too much on offense. Western didn't have a great year. I don't think it was a good MAC year either. Like, you can went down the stretch and Bowling Green started to fall off in Ohio, and Miami, Ohio kind of separated themselves. But I don't think it was a good MAC year overall. So I'm not going to take a middle of the pack. It wasn't a good Sun Belt year, but this feels like one of the better equipped teams for a bowl game from the Sun Belt at this point in time. So South Alabama, double digits.
All right, 2 on South Alabama. Jake, who do you like in this game?
I will be, for my 70 followers on X, I think I'm gonna bet every single bowl
on
game.
Your new account. You're not an actual full loser. New account, college football.
You can follow the username right there. J Shaper.
You could do like 25 days of Christmas, but 25 days of bowl bets.
Bowl games. We're doing them all.
Clips. Yeah, do some clips. Get it rolling. You take the little ring off.
First one, I'm gifting America here. I actually have the over in this game. Western with both of its running backs back. Their defense isn't very good. That's why they lost 3 of their last 4. I love Pritchett and Lopez. Like, I think the last time I watched those two was that Thursday night against App State, where they just scored a billion points and played so well. So I think this will be high scoring. JP, I lean more towards you. I will say I lean more South Al blowing this one out more than anything.
Shout out Ontario Thompson, former Iowa Hawkeye.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
There you go. They had a lot of dudes. They were one of the first teams that had like 12 or 13 dudes jump in the portal. Like, right away.
That was his first year at Western too, was this year. Pascuzzi just got offered from him. Iowa's tight end. They hit a portal. So
there you go.
There's a MAC connection if you can't tell between Iowa and these MAC schools.
I don't know if that's something to brag
Midwest.
about.
That's Midwest transfer portal right there, baby. MAC to the Midwest.
Where they go.
It is 100% where they go. But that one, check that one out. That one's in Montgomery, Alabama on the 14th, 8 p.m. Central, late time game.
It is a home game.
Yes.
Wait,
absolute home game.
Guys, I mean, it's not. They're from Mobile.
I know, but home state, that's a home game for a bowl game. You're driving.
Dozens of people will be fired up to watch this Salute to Veterans Bowl. Dozens, including us.
Let's go, including us.
So bowl season matters. We should have prefaced with that. We are stands of that. It was in our X bio for a long time. Bowl games matter to build the brand of these G5 programs, to see young talent take the field now, especially with all the opt-outs. Yes, the opt-outs hurt college football fans, including us, but it still matters to win a bowl championship, to have a chance to get 2 weeks of extra practice going into the next season. Bowl games matter overall. So definitely pay attention to bowl season. They are important, especially to me. I love bowl season. But all right, that is the first game. Check that one out, December 14th. Let's go to the next one.